All of the things I'm about to say are merely speculation or just fun theories to explore and debate about. Also, I know there are a few theories out there about the same thing, but I wanted to make my own. I think Luffy has another gear technique that we haven't seen yet, because I feel that he needs to at least have one other more powerful technique to defeat Doflamingo, let alone take on the Yonko. Luffy just might be strong enough to defeat Doflamingo at this point, because Doflamingo is pretty hurt from his consecutive fights with Law and Luffy, especially after Law's last technique that knocked Doffy on his ass for a little bit. Maybe Luffy has some other techniques that he will use soon, against Doflamingo or other enemies. Maybe he doesn't have another gear, but rather another deviation of his haki that he mastered. Though I think he will pull out another gear technique, mainly because his gear techniques are his trademark, and usually time when after he trains, he masters another gear. In the case of Endy's lobby arc, he mastered 2 gears at the same time through training. Luffy's gears have been different amplifications to his own skills. Gear 2nd made all of his techniques faster and stronger, which increased his offensive and defensive skill together. Gear 3rd was like a heavy attack, which I presume was intended to be mostly offensive, seeing how he used it to hit powerful enemies like Rob Lucci, Moria, Magellan, Caesar Clown, and Doflamingo. Also, both of these gears have been combined with Luffy's armament haki to make them even stronger. Another deviation of his gear techniques is the infamous Red Hawk, which he uses as a last resort final blow type of technique. The Red Hawk is Luffy's gear 2nd combined with his armament haki and adding more power to that part of his body, in most cases his arms, to create friction, which in turn causes the fire. That is just a scientific theory of mine. I don't actually know if that's what it is, but it makes sense to view it like that through reality, through realism and science. Because that's what Oda likes to do a lot too, not just all fantasy and mythology, he likes to do realism too. I personally think Luffy's Gear 4th will either be a full body armament haki or another technique entirely, similar to Rayleigh's haki technique, where he doesn't even have to hit someone, he just propels them with a blast of haki, like he did against that giant red elephant that looked like it was from Toriko. I'm leaning more towards the second one. I think Luffy has another trick that he will use with his haki. We already know that he is very quick, especially with his jet pistol. Maybe he could add haki to it, so that way when he releases his jet pistol, instead of his fist hitting the person, the energy from the haki impacts the person. This will be very helpful when Luffy fights Blackbeard, since Blackbeard has to come in contact with the person to cancel out their Devil Fruit abilities. Of course, we don't know if Blackbeard has improved his techniques enough to not have to touch the person or not. We don't know yet, so I'll leave that for another day. To wrap this up, I think Luffy will have another technique in the form of a gear. I think Gear 4th will be an even stronger use of his haki, maybe not exactly like Rayleigh's, but still in the general area. A shockwave of haki that can hit an enemy from a distance. This could also be considered him absorbing a shockwave or the air and projecting it back into the enemy, similarly to how Kuma sends a shockwave air towards his opponents. I hope to see his technique soon, whether against Doflamingo or enemies to come. Well, if you guys enjoyed this series of mine, be sure to drop a like, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to check out other One Piece discussions and theories, check out the link in the description. And thank you guys for watching, and peace.